Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. If you want to know how to get back your ex-girlfriend and boyfriend, click the link below.
Want to give it a shot, but I am afraid, so I'm seeking some guidance. It's been 7 weeks since my 3.5-year-old, 25F, boyfriend, 30 meters, cheated on me. He invited a few friends to drink and use drugs, MDMA. The app was a new acquaintance whom I had planned to meet the night before, but I cancelled our arrangements, and we stayed at home. He kissed her on the lips and led her into his room. I couldn't believe they didn't have sex, but he disputed it, claiming that I popped into his thoughts and he had to stop mid-makeout. I now have what I think to be the genuine story. He got up to look for condoms, which are hard to come by because we don't use them, had a flash of insight, and turned it off. Every day, I truly doubt whether I'll ever be able to overcome this. It's something I truly want to do. He has always been a trustworthy individual, and we have had a really good relationship up until now. I believe that how he handled the problem after it occurred demonstrates that he is a great guy who cares about me. Unfortunately, this does not erase anything, and I continue to feel that my feelings are decided by a sick person's hourly throw of the dice. I'm not sure what else he could be doing if this isn't what remorse looks like. He accepted full responsibility and came over in the morning to inform me. He voluntarily entered therapy, 2 sessions so far, and he messaged the app before telling me that he cheated on someone he loved. He's sorry for involving her, she knew about me, I read all of their conversations from the moment they met, and they were not flirty or inappropriate, she's now blocked, and he's decided no more drugs or partying. He's offered me his location and complete control over all of his devices. He's also never made me feel like it's my fault, and he's been extremely patient with my outbursts. At 4 a.m., he finished my school assignment for me while I cried on the floor. Whether I choose to stay with him, he has promised to pay for my therapy for the next year. The main reason for my skepticism is that I'm afraid that a part of him doesn't want to be with me and that this is some self-sabotage. He's attempting to convince me that he'd leave if he didn't want to be with me since it would be easier. We're not married, don't live together, and don't have any children. Being with me was already a difficult decision because he is from another country and must face his family. He's claiming that the only reason he's still here is that he sincerely wants to remain and loves me. I'm having difficulty believing that someone could love and care for you and still do something like this. It seems impossible to me, and I'm terrified to find out. Is there anyone further away from D-Day who has more clarity? Do you believe in forgiveness? Is there anything you or your partner did that aided you in your recovery? If you've made it this far, thank you for taking the time to read. I'm sorry if you've come here because you've had a similar experience, it's the worst. Here is the greatest advice for this wonderful article that I gathered. In terms of cheating, it appears like you got the greatest bargain imaginable. It didn't happen in a drunken state. It wasn't a long-term commitment. It was halted before any actual sexual activity took place. Your partner is truly sorry for what he or she has done. And he accepts full responsibility for repairing the harm. Does it seem like it's worth a shot? If you decide to give him another chance, keep in mind that it is his responsibility to make you trust him, not yours. Take whatever he says to you, including everything you described in your post, at face value. Instead, let him show things to you consistently in action. With or without him, I hope you find your light smiley face. Does he discuss what he's learning in therapy, not in depth, but more importantly, what motivated him to start it in the first place? Is he a first-timer in a serious relationship? I believe that the longer you've been together, the more probable he is to cheat. It appears to be a problem of boredom, variety, and opportunity. He did the right thing for the time being, but your relationship is still in its infancy. I don't know. That's just my naive perspective. Even while the problems can become more serious, the longer a relationship lasts, the more difficulties you accumulate. The more entanglement you make, the more difficult it is to quit. But I've been married for 10 years and together for 14, so perhaps that's the issue. When we stare into the abyss, we can sometimes become our most authentic selves. It's a little dramatic, but it's the best I can do to convey what's going on. He had the option of doing whatever he wanted with her, but he decided not to. He was sincerely sorry and is doing everything to show you that he wants to be a better man. I don't know about ladies, but I thought it was impressive that a male could get out of the position so quickly. Give him that chance, in my opinion. I wish my so was capable of displaying such restraint. There's another story here. Doubling down on deception. When you give serial cheaters proof, why do they continue to do so? He claims it's over, but I just found a pair of SM women's yoga pants, which I don't wear because I like cotton leggings, so I know they're not my. He claims he had no idea what she was doing there and that it was my fault for not locking the door when he was on vacation with our daughter. Do I have faith in him? No, no, no. Next, I have access to the accounts, I handle tax remittance, payroll deposits, cash advances, and so on, so I can see what's going on. She had a flight planned for her the morning he left the city he was visiting, with a return flight the next day. Oh, he gave her a credit card to use for job advertising. Do I have faith in him? No way. She'd need to know that no one was around. He had a receipt for the 2 weeks he spent at the hotel. But there was a smaller room booked for 4 days that he didn't have a receipt for. I didn't bring it up because the extra room booking and the flights were already on his calendars. 4 nights in a row, he left our 5-year-old with relatives. He claims to have been partying with his buddies, but the evidence suggests he stayed largely at the hotel and went to the casino for a short time, which contradicts what he claimed to be doing. Now that I'm in my 3rd semester of pregnancy, at 35 weeks, I'm getting prenatal testing every week. Every week, I pee in a cup. They weren't there when he departed, and I haven't seen him in approximately 4 days. I had sex. Is it possible that I have a urinary tract infection? I haven't had a UTI in 5 years, and the last time was due to a catheter. I hadn't had a UTI since I rigorously began peeing after sex in my late teens. The doctor informed me I was getting UTI after UTI before he figured out no one had ever instructed me to pee after sex, so it's been a while. What are the odds that it isn't chlamydia? He said, I guess we'll see, I told him. I'm quite sure they gave me chlamydia, fuck them, I called it. He didn't care that we had 1 child together, and he's not going to care that we have 2. But he keeps on with his, I'll never leave you, nonsense. Here is the greatest comments, advice for this wonderful article that I gathered. It would be best to take the possibility that he may have given you an STD when you were pregnant far more seriously than you do. Right now, an STD might kill your baby. He may never leave you, but it appears that you should do so. Why are you still with him, seriously? You stated it clearly. He has a history of cheating. They aren't going to change. You must decide what you want because if you stay, this will be your life for the duration of the relationship. He knows he can continue to mess about with no real consequences for his acts as long as you stay. He knows you won't go, so there's no reason for him to try harder or change. You may either keep listening to all the nice things he says, or you can look at his behavior. Those are the ones who will tell you the truth. Words are inexpensive. You already have a child and are about to have another, so quit acting like one. You're writing a Reddit post acting like you're in control of the situation and above his petty foolishness while he's potentially going to kill your child with an STD. You need to get rid of this man, who spends money that should be going to the baby on prostitutes instead, the one who may have killed his child either through direct STD exposure at birth or severe disruption of your vaginal bacterial biome leading to a miscarriage. This man lies to your face even though you give him no reason not to. You can't act high and mighty over someone who kicks you in the face while you're laying there absorbing it and making no effort to protect yourself or the people you allegedly care about from his boot. If your child dies as a result of this, it will primarily be your fault. He already revealed that he was a huge STD risk, and you thought it'd be a good idea to keep having unprotected sex with him when your body's health is now the only thing keeping another human being alive. If he had hidden his activities to the point where you didn't know he was a risk, it wouldn't be your fault, but that isn't. Shame. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Please tell me what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button. Keep an eye out for more cheating stories.